After searching for a new manga that I should read, I stumbled across a manga called Shy, and this video is a follow-up from my previous Shy video. So if you haven't seen my previous video, but want to know my thoughts on the first 16 chapters of Shy, then I recommend checking that one out first. So as I continue reading this manga, and now up to chapter 57, there are some things that I enjoy and also some things that I think could have been done better. While reading the manga and learning more about its world, the characters and its villains, I'm surprised at how straight to the point this manga is. One thing the story excels at is how it is able to constantly remain entertaining while feeling really action-packed, and even with the chapters where the characters are having fun or doing mundane everyday things, it always seems to connect back into play with the main plot of the story. It makes everything feel fast-paced and that there is no unnecessary chapters or chapters that feel like fillers. Another thing that I like from what I've read so far is that all the members of the Amalareiks have been in one way or another related to people who are acting as protectors of Earth or having similarities to them. Like for example, Sveta, who was one of the first members of the Amalareiks that we've met. We are told in chapter 28 that aside from Stigma, there are 10 members of the Amalareiks, and Sveta was the younger version of Spirit's mother brought back by Stigma using his powers, but without her memories. And after the fight at the orphanage where both Spirits and her mother grew up at, Sveta managed to retrieve her memories, and with the help of Shy, Spirits managed to show her mother that she always cared for Sveta and managed to get her to realize that she mattered to someone. Sveta was able to reconcile with her daughter, Spirits, and explain that Stigma created the Amalareiks, and the Amalareiks are known as those who dream, and they were created to help Stigma achieve his dream of peace. Something interesting about the Amalareiks is that all of them seem to be misunderstood villains, and they are all fighting for good through the means of chaos. They've come to be this way through the manipulation of Stigma, who basically brainwashed them into thinking that following him will lead them to achieve their dreams. This is more significant when we learn more about Stigma. We learn that he believes that the world would have peace if it was only populated by children, and he also wishes to remove the bodies of humans and allow their inner selves to be free. This reminds me of the Knockers from Fumetsu no Anatai, where they also view the bodies of humans as cages that keep humanity trapped from true freedom. From chapter 54, we see Stigma and the other Amalareiks cover a portion of Tokyo in a dome, which causes the people inside to turn mindless and zombie-like. This is where we learn in the encounter between Stardust and Stigma that he can only achieve his goals by causing humanity to have feelings of fear in order for him to be able to manipulate them to his will. So he does this by luring Stardust to him and broadcasting the fight and show Stardust getting beat up and injured. This would make the viewers worried and scared since they are seeing one of their heroes getting beat up and defeated. This actually reminds me of Pitch Black from Rise of the Guardians, where he is able to grow his strength through the fear of humanity, while also having the ability to give people nightmares. So going back to the Amalareiks, I'm going to guess that since the one that I've seen have been related to the heroes, like how Spirits had to deal with a younger version of her mother, and now the shinobi Ai is dealing with her younger sister, Mei, who for some reason destroyed their village and joined the Amalareiks. So I'm going to guess that since many of the Amalareiks is related to some of the heroes, then one of the Amalareiks is actually related to Shy, because in one of the previous chapters, Teru mentioned that she used to have an older sister that had passed away. In my previous video, I theorized that perhaps one of Teru's parents used to be a hero. But now, since Teru mentioned that she had a sister that passed away, I'm going to guess that it was actually her sister who used to be the hero of Japan before Teru, and Teru got her bracelets after her sister passed away. That would be a pretty interesting plot to see. One thing I wish the story focused more on is actually showing Teru learn how to use her power and training to strengthen it while making up new moves. Because so far in the story, we've only seen the time when she got her power during the fight with Stardust, but other than that, we've only seen her use her fire in battles while shouting out different attack names. It seems like she suddenly got the hang of using her powers really fast, and the only other scene where we see her learning to use her power better is when she visited the calligraphy club and got the idea of how to use her fire through understanding the character for flame. So I actually wish they showed some training and showing her growing and strengthening her power. Maybe there will be some in the later chapters, but if so, then I'll find out as I continue reading. Something I liked was how the Unilord chose Shai to form a team and lead the team to enter the dome, which goes to show how capable she's become, and she seems to have grown a lot. But actually, to me, it seems a little too fast in my opinion, since it seems as if they skipped a few steps and she became really capable in a short amount of time. Alright, so to summarize my thoughts of the chapters from 17 to 57, I really enjoyed the story so far. It's fast-paced and straight to the point. The villains are really interesting and have a lot of potential if they manage to do it correctly. And I think they should show Teru doing more training with her powers and also a more in-depth explanation of how the power system works. Since right now, all we know is that it uses heart energy to give them powers. I'll definitely continue to read, and most likely by the next video, I'll be all caught up and we'll see if any of my guesses are correct. So that's it for today's video. Please subscribe and leave a like, and comment down below if you're reading this manga and what are your thoughts on it. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.